All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning. It is 9:03 Eastern Standard Time here on the G.A.R Capital YouTube channel. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, little white logo. Click on that, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to hit that like button if you like these videos. Really do appreciate it as always. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The Dow futures are up 229 points. Nasdaq futures up 151 points. S&P futures up 0.77%. Russell 2000 futures up 0.79%. The Nasdaq futures is up 1.11%. Sorry. Yields are climbing up a little bit, 21 basis points, 1.969%. Dollar index down 0.18%, 95.85. The VIX is down 3.37%. We're going to talk about that here in a bit. 27.83. Crude oil is up 0.27%, 92.16. Gasoline futures are up 0.39% at $2.86 a gallon. Gold futures are down 19.04 an ounce, down 0.17%. Silver futures are pretty much flat, 24.29. Euro dollar in the forex land, 113.50. 115.02, down 3 pips for the dollar yen. And Bitcoin futures are up today, 2.73% at 38,950. The spot price on Bitcoin now is 38,959. Ethereum futures up 5%, 27.32. We talked about this yesterday in the afternoon note. I said, watch us go green today. Because why? Because that's the market sometimes. I mean, whatever you think might happen, it's a little crazy. So that's where we are. But it's funny to see that I actually spoke about that yesterday on the morning note, on the aftermarket recap, and I said, watch us tomorrow be green just because. Take a look at some levels. I mean, nothing really meaningful has broken out. Here's the key level in the S&P futures. I'm going to go over that first. You can see, again, kind of higher lows. Seems to be that 42.60, that bottom that I called before, seems to be that support. But 43.60 is the level that you need to break on S&P futures to really indicate that maybe the worst is over, and then we can get above 4,400. But 43.60 has to be broken first before you do anything. We do have NVIDIA calls for the Signal members. We had SPY calls yesterday. That's already been hit. Some of the people have the runners on it. NVIDIA, again, you can see we have the 245 calls, looking for a break of 240.65 today. If we do, that'd be great. AMD, I'm waiting for a break of 120.03. Maybe right over here at 118.48. Let's see if we can get that above. Let's see if I can place an alert right at 118.90. If that's the case, I'd probably target the 120s if we get there. Taking a look at the VIX on the daily, you can see that rejection of 32. Hoping to see that we can get below 25 if we get a nice boost. So I'm watching that. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers this morning together. All right, Palantir's up 3.15% this morning. Microsoft up 1%, Intel up 1%, Apple up 1%, Boeing up 1.39%, Walt Disney up 1%. So, you know, AMD's up 2.13%. Very nice to see. NVIDIA up 2% this morning. Meta up 1.29%. Carnival up 2%. American Airlines up 2%. Tesla up 1.81%. Lowe's up 3.69% this morning. So again, a lot of green on the board. Nice to see after all the craziness. Have we hit a bottom? Well, we don't know because we don't know what the hell's going to happen with Russia either. So has there been any new headlines in terms of Russia? Not that I see. There's some sanctions that are going to go through. We know that. Some other news that came in is that U.S. mortgage applications fell 13.1% last week. The previous week was down 5.4%, rising yields. Taking a look at some other headlines here. Russian-backed separatist leader says there are no Russian troops in Donbass. Their presence in the future is possible if the situation requires it. And another one says Ukrainian army may launch an offensive at any minute. That was 2 hours ago. So really nothing that's affecting the market today. As we know, President Biden already announced the economic sanctions. Who knows what's going to happen moving forward? Is it a nice boost today? Yeah. Is the worst over? I mean, we don't know. Again, I did say 40 to 60 seems to be that level to hold, and we've been kind of holding it right there. You can see my mouse cursor right there. So, man, Listen, I want to be positive. I want to be as optimistic as possible, but we just don't know what headline can go out there. Again, remains to be seen. It's nice to see this pop. Let's see if we get continuation. Again, AMD above 118.90, maybe worth some calls. ES, again, a break of 43.60 would be great. Let's take a look at Qs, and then Qs above 344.01, and then I'll take a look at some calls, but that's really just it. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Kaylee. Leonardo says, hey, man, calls for SPY. Thanks a lot. So for SPY, what I'm looking for is 436. If 436 can break, yes, I would wait for those levels. What's moving averages do you use? What time frame do these levels act as support and resistance? Well, they act as pivot points mostly. So again, I have the 100, I have the 200, and I have the 50. And then I also have the 20-day moving averages for the daily. So I'm watching that as well. But mostly it's the 100, the 50, and the 200-day. Do they act as support and resistance? Sometimes, but mostly as pivot points. Thoughts on Roblox being a buy for the portfolio? As Nancy bought calls already, I'm out of them. He means Nancy Pelosi. I have Roblox. I own it long term. Down on it, obviously, like most growth stocks. If you want to own it because you use it, or maybe your kids use it, go for it. But again, there is a gap to fill to the upside right around 66.81. That was post earnings. So again, it's not as simple as just, oh yeah, buy some here. Again, you have to make sure that it actually fits the portfolio or what exactly the risk you want to take. Could there be more downside to Roblox? Yeah, of course there could be, because stocks have been commoditized, like we talked about yesterday. Again, it all moves in one shot for the most part. So again, am I saying to buy stocks here? I don't think so yet. Again, it's nice to see this pop, but again, it's just futures. Nothing has opened yet. So I would hold off a little on Roblox. If you want to go and buy today, be my guest. But again, I would hold off a little bit. Kind of wait for the dust to settle. If it costs you an extra $10 from your buy purchase, I'd rather confirm than predict. Thoughts on investing into oil? I do own some XLP stock. That's the only energy play I have. They are up pre-market. I still have a target of 130.56. That should get us to around $100, $105 a barrel on oil. We're at 91.89. Oil just went down. I think oil still has a little bit more room to go to around 100, 105, 110 possibly. I think 110 will probably be your ceiling on oil. That's when I would get out of any kind of oil longs. If you're trying to get into it, again, there's a lot of great plays. You could do some Chevron, you could do ExxonMobil, you could do XLE, which is all the oil refiners and oil and gas companies. It's the energy ETF. So that's probably a better one to kind of mitigate single stock risk and actually increase the diversification between a basket of stocks. Probably your best bet is probably do XLE. Again, XLP is another ETF. I'm holding that. What is the ticker for oil? The ticker for oil futures is /CL. That's oil futures. The other ones will be oil stocks. There is no other ticker to track actual oil prices. CL is the one you want to do. So you're welcome. You're welcome, K-Banks. Sorry. So that's where we are this morning. Again, I'm excited that we're green. Let's temper expectations. Let's wait for our levels and see where we go from there. Let's not go too crazy. It's nice and take it easy and see what we get moving forward, guys. So again, I'm happy that we see some green. Trust me, I think everyone's happy as well. But again, until we get some solidification of what's going to happen with Russia and Ukraine, nothing has really changed. So I'm not here to say, oh yeah, the best is the worst is over, because we're not really sure. But in terms of technical levels, that 42.60 support that we've talked about before is still holding, which is great to see. Yeah, we broke wick down, didn't settle below it, which is nice. So again, we will see moving forward. We'll keep an eye on the headlines. Make sure to follow us on Twitter for any kind of news. That's it's at G.A.R Capital on Twitter. Again, follow us. It's always going to be free. That's where I do my blogging and I talk about the market as always. Long-term conflict is good for the markets historically. Unfortunately, that is so. Yes, I guess war is pretty good. I wouldn't want that just to make some money, unfortunately, but that's where we are. Short-term events are historically bad. Always the case. You always have those black swan events. They bottom out, and then we usually move forward. We talked about that on Monday through our Instagram Live. It's there if you want to take a look at it, where I kind of break down the Russia-Ukraine conflict and what it means to the markets. I called it State of the Markets. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll catch you guys later today for the aftermarket recap. Have a great rest of your morning. Cheers.